Is it really possible to feel 20 years younger in just 3 minutes a day? If you're watching this, chances are you've had days where your body just doesn't move the way it used to. Your knees ache, your balance feels shaky, and simple tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries feel heavier than they did a few years ago. You're not alone. Stick with me because I'm going to share 5 simple daily habits, each one under 3 minutes, that helped me feel stronger, steadier, and more alive at 80 than I did at 60. No gym, no magic pills, just the quiet, consistent decision to keep showing up for yourself. Let's get started with part 1. Wake up your joints before the pain wakes you. You don't need to be flexible, you need to be functional. At 73 years old, Harold Whitman has the quiet presence of someone who has survived life's noise. His eyes are bright, but there's a gravity behind them, a weight earned through decades of work, fatherhood, wartime service, and the slow ache of aging. But what sets Harold apart now isn't his history, it's his mornings. Every day before the sun peeks through the lace curtains in his kitchen window, Harold is up, gently swinging his legs over the bed, hands resting on his thighs, taking a deep breath. Then he begins his sacred 3 minutes. Ankle circles, 10 in each direction. Knee lifts, slow and steady, like he's marching in place without going anywhere. Side twists, soft and rhythmic, wringing out the stiffness from his spine. Shoulder rolls, neck turns, and a final deep inhale through his nose, out through his mouth. He calls it his re-entry, as if his body is a spacecraft returning from the stillness of sleep back into the atmosphere of waking life. Harold's story, from rust to rhythm. It wasn't always like this. 2 years ago, Harold hated mornings. I'd grown just rolling over, he remembers. My knees screamed. My back felt like concrete. I used to joke that I woke up stiffer than the wooden bed frame. But the humor didn't mask the fear. One morning while reaching for his slippers, he lost his balance, fell sideways. Nothing broke, but the jolt was enough to shake him. I lay there for a minute, not hurt, just embarrassed. I realized I was losing something, my independence. It was his daughter, Jenna, who helped shift his mindset. A physical therapist by training, she came over with a folding chair and a notebook. "Dad," she said, "you don't need to stretch like a gymnast. You just need to move like someone who still wants to live fully." She showed him 5 moves. Each took seconds. She explained why they mattered. But more than that, she gave him back something he hadn't felt in months. Hope. As we age, synovial fluid, the body's natural joint lubricant, thickens during rest, especially after sleep. Imagine syrup on a cold morning. Without gentle movement, this joint jelly doesn't circulate properly, making our first steps feel heavy, grinding, even painful. Dr. Marina Sellers, a geriatric physiologist, explains, when older adults start their day with abrupt motion, it's like revving a cold engine. You're straining systems that haven't warmed up. That leads to stiffness, instability, and in many cases, falls. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death among adults 65 and older. But according to a 2021 study from the National Institute on Aging, starting the day with targeted joint activation can reduce fall risk by up to 36%. The goal isn't athleticism, Dr. Sellers says, it's autonomy. Let's talk about Harold's routine, the quiet revolution. He keeps it simple, still sitting on the edge of the bed, ankle circles, 10 in each direction, both feet, knee lifts, seated marches, slow and mindful, side twists, gently turning from the waist, arms resting on thighs, shoulder rolls and neck turns, slow like drawing invisible circles with your shoulders, deep belly breath, 1 long inhale, 1 even longer exhale, 3 minutes, no sweat, no gear, no excuses. I call it my insurance policy, Harold smiles. Against stiffness, against falls, against feeling like I'm disappearing. So, movement is a love letter to your future self. Every step you take today is a vote for tomorrow. Every time you rise without wincing, or reach without hesitation, or turn without fear, You're reclaiming your place in the world. You're not just preventing injury, you're announcing, I'm still here. So before you shuffle into your day, take a moment to return to your body. Oil the hinges, breathe into the places that ache. Remind your joints they still matter, because you matter, and you don't have to ache your way through the rest of your life. The next is part 2. Breathe like your life depends on it, because it does. Energy isn't just about food or sleep. It starts with air. Meet Eleanor Fields. She spent her mornings bracing herself. Bracing for fatigue, bracing for overwhelm, bracing for the moment her thoughts would slip into a spiral of everything she needed to do, and everything she didn't feel strong enough to face. She's 78 now, widowed, quiet, fiercely independent. But there was a time not long ago when she woke each day with her heart pounding before her feet even touched the floor. It felt like the day started without me, she says, like I was already late to something I didn't sign up for. Doctors ran tests, no heart condition, no thyroid issue, no clear reason. But a caregiver named Rosie noticed something small. Eleanor was holding her breath. Every morning, unconsciously, her shoulders tight, her chest frozen, breathing like someone expecting bad news. And the breath that changed everything. Rosie taught Eleanor a 3-minute reset. It felt silly at first, Eleanor laughs. I thought, breathing? Really? I've been doing that all my life. But she tried it. She sat up straight, planted her feet on the floor, rested her hands on her belly, and she breathed. In through her nose, hold, out through her mouth, slow, gentle, intentional. 3 minutes. She did it the next day, then the next, and then she stopped counting. Now, her mornings are different. I feel like I get to choose my state. I'm not just reacting, I'm responding. When we breathe shallowly, quick inhales, chest level only, we send a signal to the brain that something's wrong. It's the stress response, says Dr. Alan Kishore, a pulmonary neurologist. The body prepares for fight or flight. Even if there's no danger, your system is flooded with cortisol, adrenaline, and muscular tension. Over time, this stress becomes chronic, causing fatigue, blood pressure spikes, digestive issues, and mood swings. But the parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest, digestion, and recovery, is activated through slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing. It's the fastest, most accessible way to change your state, Dr. Kishore says, and anyone can do it, anywhere. I will be more specific about Eleanor's ritual. 3 minutes of grounding. 1. Sit upright with back supported, 2 feet flat on the floor. 3. Hands gently resting on your belly. 4. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. 5. Hold for 2 counts. And the last, exhale through the mouth for 6 counts. Repeat for 3 minutes. I started doing it before my coffee, Eleanor says. Now it's my coffee. It wakes me up better than caffeine. Bonus tip. Pair this breathing with your morning joint routine. Movement wakes the body. Breath wakes the mind. Together, they create a quiet resilience that lasts all day. You are not fragile. You are just waiting to be centered again. Your breath is the bridge between your anxious thoughts and your calm self. When you control it, you remind your nervous system that you are safe, present, and powerful. So tomorrow morning, before the world intrudes, before the to-do list grows teeth, breathe. You don't have to conquer the day. You just have to begin it with kindness to your body, to your breath, to yourself. And that is how you lead the day, instead of chasing it. Part 3. Wake your legs before they weigh you down. Your legs don't just carry your body, they carry your freedom. Meet Thomas Alvarez, 76, used to be a man of motion, a former mechanic with forearms like braided rope, and a deep laugh that filled the room. He built engines, raised 3 daughters, danced salsa every Friday night for 30 years. But when he retired, the movement stopped. I thought slowing down was normal, he says, but it wasn't just slowing, it was shutting down. Soon he noticed he needed to push off the armrest just to get up from the couch. His walks grew shorter, his knees tighter, and there were days his legs felt like anchors. I'd sit in the living room watching birds and wonder, when did my legs become strangers to me? It wasn't a doctor who saved him. It was a moment, a memory. Thomas was watching his grandson, Matteo, wobble across the yard in his first pair of shoes. Laughing, bold, falling and getting back up, over and over. And I thought, if he can fight to walk, why can't I fight to keep it? He asked his daughter for help. She showed him a simple leg activation routine. Just 3 minutes. No gym, no equipment, just consistency. The first week, he was skeptical. The second, curious. By the third week, something changed. He could walk to the corner store again, and back. It didn't feel like magic. It felt like me. Returning. Your legs house the largest muscles in your body. Quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves. They are your pillars. When engaged, even briefly, they do more than move you. They wake up your cardiovascular system, stimulate blood flow, improve joint lubrication, sharpen neural pathways between your brain and balance. Dr. Syra Lin, a neurophysical therapist, explains, when leg strength declines, everything else follows. Confidence, stamina, posture, even digestion. But leg activation restores the body's natural foundation. In other words, if you want to feel strong again, start at your roots. And let's talk about Thomas's 3-minute routine. He stands behind a chair every morning. He doesn't rush. He connects, seated or standing. Marches, 1 minute. Lift knees slowly, one at a time. Feel the motion. Calf raises, 1 minute. Rise onto your toes. Hold for 2 seconds. Lower gently. Seated leg extensions or gentle hip openers, 1 minute. Stretch, lift, or rotate. Whatever feels good but active. Sometimes he plays music from his youth. Other times he closes his eyes. I don't just move my legs, he says. I remember them. I respect them. I remind them, you still matter. So when you train your legs, you don't just gain strength, you reclaim autonomy. It's not about lifting weights, it's about lifting your life. Legs are freedom. They get you to the garden, to the mailbox, to the people you love, to the places you still want to see. So move them while you still can. And maybe, just maybe, you'll move more than your body. You'll move your spirit. And the next part 4, eat to heal, not just to fill. Food is either fire or medicine. You choose. Let's meet to better understand the problem with Dolores Mendez. She had always been a morning person. Woke with the sun, radio humming in the kitchen, toast with jam on her plate. Same routine for 40 years. But at 81, her mornings changed. Her knees ached. Her hands swelled. By noon, her energy dipped so low she needed a nap. Her doctor called it just age. But Dolores knew her body's voice, and it was whispering something wasn't right. Because the breakfast swap that changed everything. Her niece, a nutritionist, visited one weekend. Tia, she said gently, you don't need to diet, you need to fuel. Together, they stood in the kitchen and replaced white toast and sugary jam with steel-cut oats, frozen wild blueberries, a sprinkle of flaxseed, a splash of almond milk. It felt simple, barely an effort. 2 weeks later, Dolores noticed her joints didn't swell as much. Her mind felt clearer. She walked her block without stopping. I didn't feel young again, she says. I felt possible again. South, every bite you take tells your body something. Highly processed carbs, refined sugars, cheap oils, they scream inflammation. And inflammation isn't loud. It doesn't knock. It whispers. A swollen joint, a foggy head, a tired heart. But anti-inflammatory foods like blueberries, oats, spinach, flaxseed, walnuts are like balm. They soothe the fire before it spreads. Dr. Neela Jackson, a functional geriatrician, puts it this way. You can't outwalk a bad breakfast. Start the day with food that fights for you. So, try this instead, such as, you don't need a chef. You don't need organic labels. You need intention. Oats plus blueberries plus chia seeds, fiber-rich and antioxidant-packed. Eggs plus spinach plus olive oil, protein plus greens plus healthy fats. Yogurt plus walnuts plus cinnamon. Gut-friendly and inflammation-fighting. Small plate, Big shift. And now, Dolores now calls her breakfast her morning medicine. Not because it cures everything, but because it starts her day with care. I used to eat on autopilot, she says. Now I eat with attention. From the story of Mrs. Dolores, we can see that you are what you absorb, not just what you eat. Your body listens. So tomorrow, before you pour that cereal, ask, will this energize me? Will this calm my body? Will this help me move? And if the answer is yes, even just a little, you've already won the day. Because food isn't just flavor. It's your first act of self-respect. It's the fork that can point you back to strength. And the last is part 5. Strengthen circulation, from the sea or the seed. Healthy blood flow is the quiet hero behind everything. Meet Calvin Hargrove. He always loved puzzles. At 82, his favorite part of the day was still his morning coffee and a crossword in the corner chair. But climbing the stairs to his upstairs den became his daily dread. His legs felt like sandbags, and a walk that once took 20 seconds stretched into a laborious effort. It wasn't pain, he says. It was heaviness, a kind of fatigue that starts in your feet and creeps into your hope. And the story of the neighbor who changed everything. One day while sitting on his porch, Calvin struck up a conversation with his neighbor, a retired nutritionist who had started taking regular walks and looked, frankly, 10 years younger. Try adding more omega-3s, she said. It's not just for heart health, it's circulation, it's energy, it's everything. Calvin nodded politely, but something about her energy, calm, alert, steady, stuck with him. So he did some research, read some articles. Then he went to the store. He bought salmon, then sardines. And on days he didn't feel like cooking, he took algae-based omega-3 capsules. 2 months later, he called his daughter. I walked the park trail today. No stops, no rests, just walked. It felt like flying. South Y omega-3s matter. As we age, our blood vessels lose elasticity, circulation slows, inflammation creeps in, and guess where it hits first? The legs, the feet, the places furthest from the heart. Omega-3s, found abundantly in cold water fish and certain seeds, help relax blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and restore flow. Dr. Hassan Brooks, a vascular specialist, explains, poor circulation doesn't always scream. It whispers, fatigue, cold limbs, heavy legs, brain fog. But when blood moves freely, everything lights back up. Come with us. Calvin's omega routine include 1. Salmon twice a week, lightly seasoned and pan-seared in olive oil. 2. Canned sardines with crackers on Wednesdays. He calls it his senior surf and turf. 3. A handful of walnuts every afternoon. And 4. On busy days, a spoonful of flaxseed in his yogurt. And when he forgets or travels, a quality algae-based omega-3 supplement. I don't treat them like vitamins, he says. I treat them like a bridge to my better self. So what should your daily choices be here? The first is fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel 2 times per week. The second is seeds and nuts, walnuts, flax, chia every day. The third is supplements, plant-based omega-3s for non-fish eaters. Addition, repeat, trust the rhythm. Good circulation is about more than moving. It's about feeling alive in your limbs, feeling ready. When blood flows freely, so does courage. It's not about climbing mountains. It's about climbing stairs without dreading it. It's about walking into your kitchen and not needing to hold the counter. It's about owning your body again, one cell at a time. So in the end, what is it that we care about most here? It's longevity isn't luck. It's love for yourself. Let's be honest, aging isn't easy. Some days are heavy, some joints resist, some memories hurt. But aging well? That's not about pretending you're 30 again. It's about treating your 70s and 80s with the respect they deserve. And that begins with daily care. These 5 3-minute rituals aren't hacks, they're hope. They're you telling your future self, I haven't given up. I'm still in the ring. My age is not my excuse. It's my reason. Because when you show up for your body, it shows up for you. And the ripple effects are real. Better balance means fewer falls. Better breathing means clearer thoughts. Better legs mean longer walks with your grandkids. Better food means calmer joints, sharper mornings. Better circulation means more days you actually want to live. So here's your challenge. Pick one habit and do it tomorrow morning, then the next day, then again. Notice how your body speaks back. It might whisper first, less pain, a lighter step, a moment of clarity. Then it might roar. Let's subscribe and tap the bell to grow with us. If you're still here, comment "still moving" below so we know you're in this for the long haul. You're not just aging, you're evolving. And every breath, every bite, every quiet 3-minute movement is proof. We're rooting for you. With all our heart, dear Seniors Life.